Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Cleveland Browns halftime show with the score 3-3 in the bottom of the ninth inning. I'm Mr. Moohead, your big and furry host, as we go through 12 minutes of pure hell here on the halftime show. Well, what can I tell you that you don't already know? The Browns offense has shit its pants. Because they can't run the football. When there's no balance and you have a quarterback who's, on the verge of being injured, already injured, but I mean worse, with the exception of the drawn up plays in the beginning of the game, there's been no movement of the football whatsoever by the Browns offense. Part of that is because what could have been a touchdown drive was dropped by Austin Hooper. Wasn't a perfect pass. Same thing to the one that would have been a first down pass to Higgins that was more of a back shoulder throw that he didn't even get his hands around on to catch. Browns receivers are not helping Baker Mayfield out. I don't know. I don't think that they're open downfield, but I can't say that with certainty because I don't have the camera angle. And right now, this is the kind of game that the Pittsburgh Steelers want. A very rough and physical game, low-scoring game, and hopefully they're going to make the play that makes the difference. The Browns, on the other hand, have lost Jack Conklin again, this time to an elbow injury. Sorry, I misreported on Twitter that it was Jedrick Wills, but 71-78, roll the dice. And Conklin has been a hot mess injury-wise during the course of the season. I'd like to tell you that there's something really great to talk about in this game. The Browns defense has done well enough. I think Myles Garrett is doing what he's supposed to do, and they are running some misdirection plays and getting yardage on the ground against the second unit. I noticed when our second unit was in, all I have to do is see Billings in the game, and that's when running yardage suddenly appears. As far as the statistics in the game, I'll go to our box score. Baker Mayfield, 10 of 17 for 107 yards, 77 rating. And the same thing with Ben Roethlisberger, 9 of 14 for 73 yards and a 77 rating. The Browns, I think, have given up too many yards on the ground. 75 yards on the ground in the first half. The Browns have only carried for 40 yards on the ground during the course of the first half of the game. That is a win for the Steelers. The question that is being asked by Keyblade, are we ever going to be able to take shots down the field? I don't think there's time for Baker Mayfield to be able to look that long down the field. And second of all, I really don't think there's anybody fast enough to get down that far in the field. I've yet to see any long passes successfully executed by the Cleveland Browns this year. They're not breaking wide receivers open, and I think they lack speed at the wide receiver position. If I were to say what the great weakness of the team is, besides the fact that they have brittle athletes who can be very prone to injury, is the fact that they lack that breakaway wide receiver, a guy who can make a big play. And obviously that's not going to be Odell Beckham with two shoulders that are messed up. I couldn't agree more. Ronnie Harrison is a disaster and should be pulled, and I would get rid of him. He obviously doesn't have control of himself. This is multiple times this year. Once he was ejected out of a very important game when we didn't have a backup for him. We do have a backup for him now. But that hit out of bounds, totally uncalled for, totally selfish, totally dirty. Got no use for a brainless ball player. Ronnie Harrison would qualify as a brainless player for making that. I really was shocked to see Mike Tomlin go for it off of a field goal fake and managed to get his place kicker hurt in the process. I don't know what he was supposed to do. I guess the tight end was supposed to be the guy, 88, that he was going to throw the ball to, and 88 never got close enough to the goal line. He would have had to have thrown it to him like on the 6-7 yard line, and quite honestly, he wouldn't have been able to run it in. So questionable there, except that I can tell you that Tomlin is convinced that his defense can stop the Browns anytime they want. And so far, that appears to be the case. The Browns are not doing what they need to do offensively. Yeah, and I agree, Bronk. And we saw both coaches. The call, I couldn't believe the call that Stefanski made on fourth down on a long, a play that took a long time, let's put it that way, to set up a cutback run, way deep handoff in the backfield. Didn't seem like it was the smartest way to go. But the Browns are offensively playing like a team that is quite convinced that the Steelers have won the battle of the line of scrimmage, and that creates all kinds of problems. As far as our ability to have any kind of balance. And we're seeing now Baker's going to go down very easily, which is fine, but I'm also seeing him start to press. The ball that he overthrew Landry and Landry tipped could have easily been intercepted, and he actually double clutched that ball. And when I start seeing Baker do that, I get worried because turnovers come next. I think the Steelers are counting on Baker Mayfield getting flustered in the second half and taking advantage of turnovers. The other opportunity for the Browns was just an unlucky bounce of the ball on a punt return where we had 2-3 guys on the ground where the ball was, and there was one Steeler, and the Steeler comes up with it. I mean, that's something that, we end up getting the ball inside the 35-yard line, a short field, that gives us a chance to do something. But the field position that we've had has been crappy, and there isn't anything downfield that looks particularly open to me. And we don't have even a Chase Claypool to run an end around with. We're not going to run end arounds with Beckham with 2 injured shoulders, or with Landry. We tried to run one, but you could see he couldn't really plant and cut off of that right knee. We don't have any speed. It's going to hurt the Browns this game. I say that that's always the case. The first down that was allowed by Greedy Williams to Deontay Washington was soft coverage, and you can't afford that. But the way the Steelers are playing, they're quite convinced they can hold the Browns to a very low point total and stay in this game and get the necessary touchdown. I don't think that the Steelers believe the Browns can even score a touchdown. And to be honest with you, the way the Browns run plays in the red zone without running game, there's nothing about our passing game in the red zone that has proven to me that receivers can get open in narrow spaces tightly in the red zone. So this is going to be tough. I would not say that either, Wable. I'd say that the Steelers are teeing off, and once they stop the Browns' running game and they realize that, and we're not seeing Dearness Johnson. We saw a little bit of him. We saw a little bit of Demetric Felton, but Chubb has really not been a factor, nor has he been given the ball very much. We came out looking to throw the football in the beginning of the game. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but right now, nothing's working offensively, and you get the feeling that the home stadium is getting quieter and quieter, and the Steelers are gaining confidence because their defense is able to throttle the Browns' offense. This is, I'm going to do something I've wanted to do for a long time here, and that's to put an asshole in timeout. Time out there, buddy. The chat room person who's obviously smoking weed and is thrilled with the way the game's going. Right now, it's anyone's game to win, and second half adjustments, we'll see what's going to happen. I really thought that Tomlin was going to kick the field goal. I really did. And, quite honestly, I'm being asked, do you still think we can win? Sure. Absolutely. The game is a 3-3 game, and Pittsburgh is starting out with the football, and they're going to come out with their best in the second half. But yes, we have a chance to win the football game. But you can see that without balance, I mean, we've got a lot going against us right now. We don't have offensive balance because we're not running the football. We have an injured quarterback who is really only on the field trying to avoid injury, and his primary receivers are not open. I don't see how putting the second string quarterback in, as some people are saying, just take, put Case Keenum in. No, because you're going to end up with the final score of 3. As far as why defer, the Browns did not defer. The Browns did not defer. It was the Steelers who won the toss. I believe. I don't know what the exactly what the situation was with that, but whatever it is, it gives the Steelers the ball to start the second half of the game. We're going to go as far as our players carry us, and we have some wounded warriors. You can see Landry's not Landry, Beckham's not Beckham, and it's going to be very difficult for the Browns unless we get some big plays from our defense, strip sacks or interceptions. Interceptions seem less likely with the way Pittsburgh gets rid of the ball so quickly. A deflected pass interception, maybe, but not a coverage interception. Strip sack by Myles Garrett or Clowney, that seems more likely, or like on the punt return, if we can obliquely hit somebody. That's what I see. But no, I'd say by no stretch of the imagination have we lost the game, but I'd say right now Pittsburgh is psychologically winning the football game because this is the kind of game they need in order to win. A low-scoring game on the road in which their defense is throttling the strength of the opposition. I'm heading back to the game now, as you are too. Everybody enjoy the second half. I'm going to be right back here after the game for the post-game show. So let's see what happens in the second half. It's 3-3. Anything's possible. Go Browns. See you after the game.